So President Donald Trump has rejected Iran's response to a U.S. proposal to end the war. The Iranian counterproposal was passed to Washington through Pakistani mediators. In a post on social media, Trump said, "I've just read the response from Iran's so-called representatives. I don't like it. Totally unacceptable." Tehran's counterproposal has several key demands and conditions. Its state media reported saying Iran calls for an end of the war on all fronts, including Lebanon, full compensation for war damages, and lifting of all sanctions. Let's bring in our correspondent in Tehran, Almigdad Alruhaid. So, Almigdad, give us the details of Iran's response to the American proposal. What are they saying?
Well, actually, we are expecting in the shortly briefing from the foreign ministry spokesperson shortly expecting about they're going to respond about what Donald Trump said, that the response from the Iranian unacceptable. But what we don't know right now, that Iranian officially sent their proposal, their response to the mediators in Pakistan yesterday, and we don't know that they are setting a very firm condition, a very clear image from the past 14-point plan. They are focusing right now on a phase of ending the war at all fronts, and it guarantees about the future military attacks from Israeli and Americans. And at the same time, they are speaking about other issues, which is like lifting sanctions, ending the maritime blockade from the United States Navy, and also about easing the pressure on oil exports. And after that, they can speak about how can use or how can control the Strait of Hormuz in return of that United States lifting its blockade from the Iranian ports. The phase after that, which is not right now on the table, it's about the most complex issue when it comes to Iran rights, what's called rights for uranium enrichment, and also their facilities about the nuclear file, and also the highly stockpile of the highly enriched stockpile of uranium inside the country. There is a very red line about this issue. They are saying that we have a national rights, we have a sovereignty to keep that stockpile inside the country and not handing over to a third party or a third country. At the same time, they are saying that they have a sovereignty on the Strait of Hormuz, because they are saying we have right now a new reality, a new equation on the Strait of Hormuz, especially after 28th of February. Right. And what this reality right now is how to control and make a safe passage for international shipping and trade. Right.
So the leadership then standing firm. So what do Iranians make of that as the effects of the war become, more difficult? Are they fully behind their leaders?
Well, actually, when it comes to the ordinary people here, the picture is mixed of public supporting and also uncertainty and also psychological effect of this war, because we do know that people have been experiencing a very tough circumstances, a very tough headlines about military escalation, about failure in negotiations, back and forth escalation in the Strait of Hormuz, and adding to that the decade of sanctions and the effect of this war on the normal people in their every details of essentials when it comes to food and groceries, when it comes to a very single detail on their life. And at the same time, we are seeing that the authorities trying to normalize the circumstances, speaking about this is a national war, it's about existential war, and keeping that rhetoric moving or circulating between the public here. Every night people gathering and rallying, supporting and voicing their government. But at the same time, we are seeing that the psychological fatigue and anxiety is also on the people that supporting the national rhetoric. So the weeks of war, the weeks of the decades of sanctions, the blockade on the Iranian ports, affecting the very details, because we don't know that the export and import for Iranians is through the coastal areas, and now there is a blockade, a heavy blockade from the United States Navy, and this is definitely will reflect on the ordinary people. But at the same time, as we said, we see a mixture of all these image about uncertainty between ordinary peoples, about the public support from the government, and try to normalize that. At the same time, the psychological effect on the ordinary people.
Right, the war no doubt having a big impact and a big effect on Iranian people. Thank you so much, Almigdad, for that. Almigdad Alruhaid, our correspondent in Tehran.